Welcome, welcome to the show Cooking with Stuy. This is our very first show. It is brought to you by Stuy-PA Fundraising Committee, and I'm the show's facilitator, Fanny Lauren. And today we are going to have a very special dishes, perfect for the Chinese New Year or say Lunar New Year. That is the golden dumpling. Okay, so you guys have dumplings, many dumplings before. So this is let's try the gold dumpling for now. So this our main chef is Mark Yang. Can we show him? He's actually with us in Shanghai. And with him, we have a very senior or Yan Chi Lu is
Yes.
with us. Hello. With us.
Hello. Why?
Hi. You want to quickly introduce yourself, Mark?
Yeah. I'm Mark Yang. I'm father of Claire McDonald, one of the school students of Stuy. I'm in Shanghai now, so that's very early in the morning. I'm cooking the egg dumpling and soup soon. Thank
Thank
you.
you for waking up late. Waking up early. So our next picture, who's going to try to copy what Mark's doing is Ting Yu. Ting, can we? Yes.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
I am the mother of a Stuy student. Come here. This is
Hi,
Aiden.
Yan
He's a ninth grade student, and we're doing this to make this egg dumpling soup. Actually, I used to have this when I was in Shanghai. My family used to make it when I was little, so I'm very excited to make it.
Great. So both of you are from Shanghai, huh? Let me bring in someone who's not from Shanghai. We have Miss Majo. Hello.
Up, y'all.
Hey,
Hi.
where are you guys now?
We are in Staten Island.
Okay, are you ready to make this very Chinese dishes?
My mom is so excited to do it. Are you, mommy?
Yes, very excited.
Okay, are you all ready?
Yes.
Okay, Ma, you want to start? So, okay, I need to tell everybody that we have a lot of participants here. So you are welcome to talk to each other or ask any question in the chat room. You should be able to see chat at the bottom of your screen. And then the right-hand side, you could ask whatever. If you want to talk to me, some questions specifically for me or the panels, you could choose two panelists. If you just want to share your idea, have a question for everybody, you could just say everybody. So I would try to monitor that chat to see if you guys have any specific question. I welcome your comments. And I want to emphasize, learn this dishes. Learn this, there's a lot of variety you can make. And then after you finish, please take a picture and share with us. And we are going to show, give you a email address. We want everybody to show us their good products, good result. And then we are going to put it in a newsletter. Maybe we could have contest over there. What do you think? Just by the look, not the taste. All right, let's start. Mark, ready?
Okay.
Everybody? Please.
Okay. I will start. As Fanny mentioned or Chang mentioned, the egg dumpling and the soup I'm going to cook called the family reunion is family reunion fortune is one of the most popular dishes when I was a kid. I remember how my mother cooking the egg dumplings with this magic ladle, which I will try to show later. To be frank, I have not cooking that for a long time. We are in the modern world. So in Shanghai, the egg dumpling you can buy in the supermarket. But with this style program, I will do my best and try to replay how my mom make that in the old days. Let's start with the I will let my father to take a show. Let's start with the dry mushrooms, because the dry mushrooms is a pretty important condiment for the soup. And a lot of people is wondering, what can we do with the dry mushrooms? In the normal situation, if you have a very long time, you can always put that in the room temperature water to soak it like this. But in case you only have, let's say, 20 minutes to preparing that soup, you can put the dry mushrooms into a warm water. The warm water means not boiling water, but not like a cold water or room temperature. I'll call that maybe a 50, 60 degrees of Celsius. And then put a teeny teaspoonful of sugar into the water. So then the dry mushrooms will soak very fast. In 15, 20 minutes, it will become like this, which can be cooked. And now the second thing I want to show you is about how to grind pork mince. This is just normal pork mince I bought from the market, the ground pork. The ground pork, in order to have a very juicy taste ground pork, I recommend that you will have 40% of the fat of the fat pork with 60% of lean pork, or maybe 50, 50, 30, 30, 30, 70 is also fine. So what I used to do is I will add some oyster sauce into the pork mince. Some like let's say I will call that maybe 2 spoonful, and I will add a little bit of pepper just to add a taste. Then I will stir that to make all the taste into the ground pork mince. Usually we just stir that for quite a long time. So I do have one already made from last night like this. So these are, I would say, the main filling I put into the egg dumpling, which you can see the egg dumpling here. Now I will make the egg dumpling now. For making the egg dumpling, I use this magic ladle my mother used to make. There's also the different way to make it, but this is how I remember, how I see my mother make it when I was a kid. I was like 5 years old when I sit next to my mother when she is making the like tens of those egg dumplings. She always make like 1-2 days before the Chinese New Year.
So
first,
you put something in. What is that?
Yeah.
You put in? Is it butter?
Yeah. Now, actually, I first you want to heat up the ladle, but then I just add a little bit of this any kind of oil can works, and I just put a little bit lard oil, the pork lard, but I think the vegetable oil also makes perfect the egg wrapping. So I just with the oils, I will just oily the ladle to make that non-sticky. Okay. Now you can see I will add the egg into.
So is that just the egg, or do you put
Yeah,
anything
just
in the
adding
egg?
to the beaten egg into this. And the one thing I want to mention that in order to make a good wrapping, you want to have the the ladle become a bit hot or warm. And then
So
you dry that.
Hot, warm.
Yeah, the hot warm. So you can see some like a sound, like the sound like say when you put egg into that, you see some light sounds like the egg is under cooking. Let's see.
So how can you tell the egg is perfect? I can see this is the most important step to make it or ruin it.
Yeah. I know it's maybe not very. Maybe the first one you may not see it's that easy, but actually after you try the one or two, it will be fine. Very interesting. My French friend who had been saw me doing that. I show him the video clip of this. That he called that a Chinese omelet. You can see the whole idea is like an omelet, right?
Mini
it's just a much
omelet.
smaller one.
Yes.
You see, this is how I made my first one.
So the meat doesn't have to be cooked.
Yeah, you can see the ladle. Ladle is a pretty the ladle is a very don't have any egg stick on the ladle.
Good.
So this yeah.
So we can see that King and Majo are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right? How do you guys like it so far? Easy? Or
yeah,
hard?
actually, I had to take some practice this morning. It's actually pretty difficult. It looks easy, but the egg is very easily to, the skin is very thin. So if you don't handle it well, it will break. So I broke a lot of egg skin this morning, but now I'm getting the hang of it. The other thing I want to talk about
makes perfect.
Yeah, the other thing I want to talk about in my feeling, what I did different with Mark is that I put in the Chinese water chestnut. It does give a very crunchy texture to the filling. It's actually my favorite way of doing my filling. And also I put in sesame oil to give extra aroma to the filling. So, and what I did I told my son to do is to portion the meat on the plate, since he's my help today. So he can portion the meat, so it's easy for me to get the meat and put in the filling. So that way I don't burn my egg.
Yes, the preparation part is so very important.
I figured it out this morning.
I could tell Mark has been doing that a lot, so he doesn't need help to, you know, portion it already. Yes. And I think we can tell that the filling is very customizable, personal.
Right.
You can personalize it.
Right.
So everybody can have their own filling.
You can also make a vegetarian filling where I show in my plate. Give you some example. You can use spinach, cabbage, whatever you want. But I like to use Chinese bok choy. I have the oyster mushroom. These are the fresh shiitake mushroom. I love it. And I have some bamboo. You can cut it up. You can put in tofu. You can be just very creative.
Cool. So Majo, what feeling do you have for your dumpling?
We actually followed the recipe and we're doing the oyster sauce and cornstarch and so exactly what Mark just did is what's our filling. We just can't get our shells.
Do you find the shell easy or?
We have not yet had success.
Don't worry,
they will rip.
I guess it is hard when it's too thick. Then it doesn't taste good and it's hard to make it cooked. But if it's too thin, then you can make the omelet part.
Yeah, they shred.
Yeah, I could tell that Ting's still is actually much bigger. So her
that's like a
omelet
mini wok.
could be bigger, right?
That's like a little mini wok she's got going there.
Yes.
Yeah, I do think you can have a thick wrapping egg, which may be helpful. But also another advice I like to give to the participant is I tried a couple of times, and once or twice, I'm not did very successfully with my wrapping preparation. I think partly is because the ladle is not hot enough. That's the main reason. Another reason can potentially be you need a pretty good fresh egg. So if the egg is too long, it may be make even harder for you to make the wrapping eggs because they're easy to break.
Okay.
I put too much filling in. Oh, we got the first one.
We
We got the first one, but too much filling. It's fine. Good job, mommy.
Oh, Ting used a brush to put the oil. That's good.
Yeah, we have the brush.
But Ma just remind us it has to be really hot so that the egg can, be how do you say it? Hardened? Good,
Yeah,
right?
I think the brush really works well. And also, like when you put the egg in, just keep on rolling around, so that way it's even.
Oh, my kids are all here. Oh, this. What's up, y'all?
Can we see how it is now? Hey, I want to ask you guys, would spray work, do you think? The oil spray?
Yeah, that will work too.
Yeah, I think so too, right?
So
Yeah, actually, I think like everything, just like everything, the practice will make them much easier. I broke like a lot at the very beginning, but yeah, after I would say couples, then it will become a pretty nature to make it. Another way to do that, which I probably have no time to show, but it's also not the traditional way, is just making the wrapping first and keep making wrapping and take the wrapping out without put the filling into this.
Great job, mommy. You could put the wrapping on the table on the tray, and then you just roll it.
So this is a very interesting, innovative golden dumpling because we have the egg outside. But if someone's really scared of doing the egg, or not scared, but not successful, you could use the traditional one. Just use the flour one. And as Mark mentioned, you could actually buy those dumplings from the supermarket. But homemade is always much better, and you could put whatever filling you want. I myself like to put shrimp because I like seafood a lot. Occasionally, I put scallop if my budget allowed.
Yeah, actually, Fanny, interesting. You mentioned that the normal dumpling are using the flours for the wrapping, not the eggs, right? In the northern China, that's called jiaozi. That's called Chinese dumpling. That's a pretty standard Chinese Spring Festival New Year food. The egg dumplings, which I'm making at the moment, is regarded to bring a good fortune because the egg is yellow, so it's give people's it's golden, right? So to give people's the good like a golden coin. So it's one of those I'll not call it Chinese superstitious, but it's like a good fortune things. All the Shanghai Chinese families they like to have, for the
Yeah, I think in China, I think dumplings are usually northern Chinese. They usually eat dumpling, and in Shanghai we eat egg dumpling and also spring roll. We fry spring roll because it's golden, and it represents as like a golden, golden blocks. You get, it's all about money, right? Because we love money.
Yes, I think Chinese tend to use the phonetic sound to how to say that, to label all the food, especially in Chinese New Year. So for egg is golden, and then for crab it is what do you call very lively, and shrimp. And for some some choy, some vegetable. They call it the because vegetable choy is the same pronunciation as choy, which is wealth. So if you want wealth, eat more vegetable. If you want gold, get more egg. So Michael, what do you have? Oh, be careful. Yeah, I want to remind people that you are doing this over the fire directly. So just really be careful, and especially the oil.
Right.
Don't accidentally put the oil in the fire. So it looks like, Mark, how many have you made? Yeah, yeah.
Actually, this is the 6th one I'm making for this morning. And I think after this one, I'll start to show people how to make the soup.
Yes, please.
Add add all these egg dumplings into the soup, and I will introduce the stuff I put into this soup after I have this one.
Hey, for Cantonese, when we have water or soup, that represent the wealth keep coming. The northern people have the same thing, the water, river, so the money just keep coming, keep coming.
Yes. Yes,
good.
it's the same thing. I think it's all the same.
Marissa,
So
we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Marissa.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I said my mom and I got a rhythm now. We're rolling them Italian style. So after we make the egg filling, the egg roll or whatever it's called, the shell, we then put it on the plate and I fill it with filling like I would if I was making manicotti.
Yeah, that make it easier because the egg gets cooled down. Yes, that's good. Yeah. Thank you for the tip.
So
okay, now you see I did my part of the all the egg dumplings. I have 6 fresh made, and I did make something last night just to not boring people to make total 16 or 20 of those egg dumplings. I will now add them into the soup. Now look at this soup. I would just, in old days, we were using the big earthy pot for cooking that soup because the earthy pot can keep the soup warm for the long time. I want to say also the one very funny part is in the Western, people usually eat the soup first. But for the Chinese, particularly, for the Shanghainese, the soup is always come in the later bit of the formal dinner. So when soup comes, we are about to eating the rice dish soon. So usually when we are eating the other dishes, this pot is always put in the stove and cook in the small heat. So in the second part of the dishes, the feast, and when this pot comes up, and we know we are going to maybe have another half hour, then we'll start to eat the rice, and that will be a very satisfactory dinner is coming to the end. I want to show people how to make this soup. On the bottom of the pot, I put a Chinese cabbage. I already sliced them. I put a Chinese cabbage on the bottom. Now you can see. Partly because, this is a very traditional Chinese soup. This is a very traditional Chinese soup. Partly because in old days, the cabbage is the only available or the most available the dishes, the vegetables in the winter. So the cabbage is always the very key part of the winter dishes when I was young. So with the cabbage on the bottom, now we put the egg dumplings into onto the cabbage.
So we can see that Ting is doing the same. She has cabbage at the bottom, but
Yeah.
then it looks like Ting also put some rice.
I actually have a lot of stuff on my plate. If you want to take a look at it, so I have a platter of I have some quail egg, I have some fish ball, dry scallop,
Nice.
I have shiitake mushroom, I have Chinese ham, pork skin, and fresh bamboo.
Wow.
That's all I'm gonna put
Wow.
in the same pot. And also, I made some chicken soup, so I'm gonna put real chicken soup in it instead of using water.
Yes,
Ah,
actually,
okay.
chicken soup will add a lot into the flavor, for sure. I remember when I was a kid, they will be impossible to get so much different varieties in the pot, partly because you know, when I was young, right, China still under the cultural revolution time, so there will be only we don't have such a varieties like what Qing is trying to put into the soup. But I do remember we always have the shrimp in the soup, like what I'm doing now. And yes, the ham look like a Chinese ham. This is also I trying to put Chinese ham into this.
I think ham and shrimp are the one that really bring out the flavor, and also the dry mushroom.
Look at that.
Ting, can you tell us more about the pot that you use? That's more traditional Chinese, right?
Right. That is the clay pot. That's what we use to make all kinds of casseroles and soup, and and it keeps it very warm. So even if after you're cooking it, you just keep the lid on. You can make the soup will be warm for a long, long time. That's what I like to use to cook.
Great. So as you can see, both Mark and Ting have different things in the pot. So it's up to the participants what you want. Just literally dump everything that you like inside. That definitely would taste good. But you just have to be very, very careful with the dumplings. Don't break them. So Mark, what is the white thing that you put in?
This is the rice vermicelli, and I remember we always have the rice vermicelli in the side.
So for Chinese New Year, when we have noodle, that kind of thing, because it is long, right? So that represents long longevity. So
yeah.
Nice
and
to have noodle.
Yeah, we think what we eat is also affecting our future fortune.
Yes.
I really get excited to hear Ching said she has the chicken broth for the soup, and I do not have the chicken broth. So I would just put in the normal water, but I do recommend the chicken broth if people can prepare.
Yeah, some Korean may use the beef broth, which is okay too, I believe.
I would say the chicken broth will be, or the pork broth will be the more traditional one.
Yes.
Beef is really
the Korean,
not a normal or it's a quite luxurious the meat for the Shanghai era back then.
Because it's luxury to have any beef. Yeah, even pork is luxury.
I remember in Shanghai, we don't eat that much beef. It's usually pork or chicken. That's how I was growing up.
Yes, because cow, ox are for kind of like labor. We use them to help us farming. So only pig and chicken are for us to eat.
Now, I already put this. Now I already put this soup, house reunion fortune soup. In China we call it 全家欢. Into this the stove now.
Mhm.
And usually after the water boiling, we can put in a very small heat and for very long time. But I think you can start to eat them after like 15 minutes after boiling. And yeah, that's I would say this brings me a lot of memories when I was a kid.
Mhm.
In those times that we have a pretty limited the food supply. And then with the Chinese New Year, that all the meat and all the dumplings, the soup, even sometimes a small piece of chocolate bring me a lot of good memories in those old days.
Yes, my kids love Chinese New Year because that's the time they could get something, chocolate, food, and most important, red envelope.
Yeah, back then in the 1970s and 1980s, I mean, the food is really scarce. I remember I eat chicken like twice a year. We don't really get to eat that much meat, everything is tofu and vegetable. So for the kids during Chinese New Year, it's very exciting because this is the time you can eat all kinds of food, fish, shrimp, everything, right? And also all the kids get to wear new clothing. You get clothing once a year or twice a year. Like it's really poor back then in China.
So I don't know how many participants here are young, for us young kids. So your parents, actually gone through a lot. Whatever you have now, please don't take it for granted. So the dumpling is at the bottom, right? And it's pork. How can we be sure that it's cooked? Any tips you have, Mark and Ting?
Actually, because there's only a small part of the meat in the dumplings, in the egg wrapping, and the egg wrapping itself is also pretty thin. So as long as it has been boiled, the water has been boiled, the soup has been boiled, I think you will be pretty safe to eat them after 15 minutes.
Okay, sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah, after 15 minutes, I think it's all done. Yeah.
Majo, how's your dumpling?
Hi.
How's it going?
Oh, we're a machine over here. We got our whole thing going.
How many have you made so far?
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. We got 14 already.
Wow, that's very good. Impressive.
I know. Look at these. They're so cute. I can't. Look at that. Oh, that's hot. Hold on. Let me move.
Oh.
Look, they're so cute.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, you remind me. We could make any shape we want. Actually, it doesn't have to be like that.
Yeah, mine look like ravioli,
right? Yes, that's the Italian golden dumpling.
Yeah, ravioli, yes.
Yes.
They are very well wrapped raviolis.
That's very good. I wonder if the participant can come up with other versions. I can't wait to see, how creative they are to come up with other dumplings that to share with us.
You're pointing. I don't know what you mean. Like when you buy them.
But they're
round.
Majo?
Mute. Sorry.
Majo, do you feel actually a little bit exciting after you start to manage how to do that, right?
Yes.
You see the things just come out like.
It gets very exciting when they come out nice and easy out of the ladle.
Like, see how beautiful it
Yeah.
is?
She's doing so good, my mother.
Yes, it's cute. Actually, I do feel when you cook the dumpling, the wrapping, and then put the filling into that, the process itself is probably even better than you eating them.
Oh no.
Well, I think that will enhance, the feeling of eating. It's just really good. We always say that in terms of cooking, the secret ingredient is love. The other secret ingredient is that you make it yourself. That always tastes the best.
Because it's dry, it won't stay closed. All right.
With the dumplings, right? Because usually this thing, it takes a while to make. My mom, I remember she used to make a lot and then she will freeze them into the freezer So by the time, you know, you can always
yeah.
take it out and then put in the soup. So you can have it anytime you want.
Oh, yes,
Yeah.
you remind me. We always have dumpling in the freezer.
Mhm.
Yes. So when the kids are hungry, they just take it out. That's easier for them. Because the adult did all the work already.
Yes.
So Fanny, did you see any question from any audience or anything that I'm just waiting for the soup to be done so I can answer whatever.
So for the eggs, we use both the egg yolk and the white egg. We don't take out any part. Wait, if someone doesn't like egg yolk, can they take out the egg yolk? Just use the egg whites? Do you think?
I think yeah, people can use the egg white, no problem. But I think if you just use the too much of the egg yellow part, it makes harder to make the wrap not broken.
Oh, so that would be like if you use egg white only,
In
it
my
could be more
experience, the
fragile.
white,
Okay.
yeah, that's worse. Yeah. It's like you remember. Sorry, I think in a certain place, you know, like in New York, you can order the egg white omelet, right? It's the same idea.
Ah, see.
You know, you can use just the egg white. That will be fine, I do believe. But use the egg too much of egg yellow will create a problem to keep it not broken.
So Ting, you mentioned that we put it in the freezer, right? For me, once I put it in the freezer, it would be it would be gone very quickly. So based on your experience, how long could they stay in freezer?
I mean, we eat the egg dumpling in my family only during Chinese New Year for good luck, right? So usually my family will make like a couple days before New Year's Eve, because usually during the New Year's Eve, there's always a lot of work to do. So you want to make pre-made these things that you put in the freezer. Usually it's gone by the time, like, you know, before Chinese New Year is over, it's already gone. During Chinese New Year, you have relatives visiting, whatever, and then every time somebody comes, you're gonna have to prepare food for them. That's just a custom, right? So you have to do it. So actually, it's gone very fast.
Yeah, it's good to show off what kind of gold dumpling you have.
Right.
That's a good way. So another question we have is for the, you know, for the, I think mostly for the North people, Northern Chinese, they actually fry the dumpling. Do you think golden dumpling can be fried instead of put it in soup?
It can only be in the soup because the skin is very delicate, right? So, and also the meat is not cooked. So when you fry it, you're gonna burn the egg. So the meat will not be cooked, and the egg, you know, the egg will be burned. So it can only go into the soup.
Okay.
Fanny,
yes.
On that one, right? I have a little bit tips here.
Please.
Because you know, I do remember in old days when I was a kid, we do not have the refrigerator in the late 1960s, the early 50s. So of course the weather is cold. So what my mom did is after she made the egg dumpling, she first put into the steam. So she steamed it. And she steamed that for the 10 minutes so that the meat has been cooked. And then she can put into a cold temperature. Winter is cold temperature, right? Chinese New Year. She can put in the cold temperature almost like 2-3 days without worrying it's going bad because the meat has been cooked. So go back to your question. I know it probably will be impossible, too hard to cook, to fry them, but you can steam them with no problem.
I see. Yeah, someone asked, you know, if once you freeze it, what can you do next? Right now, Mark and Ting make a very elaborate Chinese dish, which have a lot of food in the pot, like ham and stuff. Actually, you could make it a simple, very simple. Just put it in the soup. That would be a perfect breakfast or snack.
Yes, that's a very good idea actually. Yeah, you can just put into some broth or like even vegetable broth. You can add into that. So there are some many way to eat them. Just like a small bowl of soup, just add a couple of egg dumplings. I think that will be perfect. I don't have problem if I have this for breakfast, for example.
Yeah, I could have it breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner.
Yeah, I can actually, I had this for breakfast this morning because it was so delicious. I made a lot. I just want to try. It was so good with the soup. It was just like, especially in the winter time, have something hot. It just hit the spot.
For sure. Ching, right? If the French call that the omelet, right? The omelet is supposed to be eaten for breakfast.
Right.
Yeah, and
Although I never eat this for breakfast back home in China. I always eat it for dinner. But you know, right now, it's just so good. I can have it anytime.
You see now, my soup is boiling.
oh, it looks
Yeah,
nice.
you can see it. Yes. And I think it will be, if I will let it boiling for another 10 minutes. I think that will be good enough to eat.
Good.
Yeah,
So
it will be also.
One question I have, I probably know the answer, but I want to confirm with you guys. We always put the cabbage at the bottom instead of just the egg dumpling. Any particular reason?
Okay, my interpretation to that is the Chinese cabbage, the cabbage I showed, is a very contains a lot of water. It's very watery.
Mm-hmm.
So you put in the bottom, the water will comes out. The vegetable, it will become kind of like a vegetable broth. It will be taste very sweety because it has some sweety taste on that. So it will. I put it this way: it will make it very soft and also make the soup become have some Chinese cabbage taste. So that's the reason. If you put the cabbage on the top, it's probably will not that much of the vegetable juice will come out.
Yeah, and I also think that in case you overcook, I think the cabbage can save your golden dumpling because the vegetable at the bottom. Yeah, and also if you go to a lot of the Shanghainese restaurant, you see the soup dumpling at the bottom. They always put cabbage because it won't stick to the on the container. So we need that.
Yeah. Also, Fanny, one thing I forgot to mention is you probably noticed that when I cook the soup, right? I just put a vegetable in, I put all the rest of the stuff in, but I didn't add salt into the soup. The only reason for that is the Chinese ham is pretty salty. So that's the reason I skipped to put into salt. I will taste the soup in the last minute. And if they need a little bit salt, I will add a little bit salt into that.
Yeah, with all the ham and stuff, I think it would taste good already. Yes. What kind of help?
We have finished the dumplings. They are adorable. Like, ooh, and they're
Wow.
What do I do next? So I have shiitake mushrooms rehydrated. I have bamboo shoots. I have noodles. I have carrots. I have pork meatballs.
Yes. Just put all these things in.
It doesn't matter the order.
You have a little bit of vegetable under the if you have any vegetable at the bottom of the
cabbage is the whole bottom.
Yeah, okay, that will be perfect. Add into some broth or some water and just cook it.
I think you should put the carrots a bit heavier.
So put carrots, mommy. Got you. We got some carrots.
Yeah.
Okay. We got some noodles.
For carrot, you have to make it very thin. Otherwise, it's hard to. Okay.
See, very thin.
Yes.
Wow. Nice.
She's really good at cutting.
It's like very thin French fries.
Oh,
Okay, we got noodles. This is fun.
Mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
Yes.
I
This
would,
is a good family
I would
project.
put a noodle a little bit later.
Oh, late. Yes. Okay. Hold
Yeah,
on.
because
Okay.
because
Okay,
you
let's put
the
it-
one thing you try not to do is overcook your noodles.
put
Oh,
the
I got you. All right, we'll put in
You
the.
can always the soup can stay as long as even like a 30 minutes, it's fine. But noodle usually you only cook it in the last minute
Okay.
Ah,
because you don't want to overcook your noodles.
okay, so we
A
got the
Chinese,
meatballs, we got the
particularly like a
mushrooms.
Chinese noodle.
Put the mushroom at the end.
I'm sorry, what? All right, so we got the mushrooms,
What kind of noodle do you have?
Yes.
the ones that I was told to buy.
Okay,
Okay,
because
that's fine.
actually, Mark
That
is
can
right.
stay a little
So
bit longer.
yeah,
Here,
for
I'll show
some
you. Hold on.
noodle,
Go ahead. Then.
for some noodle, if you keep it in the water, it will be like soaking and it would not look taste good.
These are my noodles.
Oh, this is my fun.
Fresh
Oh yeah,
rice.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
This is the vermicelli, so that's fine. But still don't overcook it. I think
Yeah.
if you put
Mhm.
into the soup for like 10 minutes before eating, that's will be perfect.
Okay,
Soups are always
so
on top.
we have
So,
this ham. Ooh, that's melting on the
Ting.
hot stove.
Let's look at Ting.
Yeah, I
What's
just
going on
wanna-
over there?
want to show you guys what I made this morning, and I freeze it into
Wow.
put in the freezer.
Whoa.
Wow.
And I just put them like this, just line them up, and I'm gonna use it during Chinese New Year next week, so I don't have to make this again. I'm done
Oh
with
my God. You
Oh
are
my
so
God.
prepared.
Yes.
Can I
Maju,
visit you?
I've been working hard the whole day today for these dumplings.
How much
Maju,
ham?
I think there's a lot of ham. I would suggest you only put a half.
Mute me.
Yeah, I would think you put a half or a third into this. Don't put too much because that can be too salty.
It's too salty.
I got
You
you.
would rather just keep it the soup. You may, if you taste it not salty enough for you, the better you can add a little bit salt in the end, but don't put too much of the
Okay,
ham.
we got
And
ham
make it too salty.
and we got bamboo shoots.
Oh yes, bamboo shoots can be put in and need to cook a little bit longer.
Bam.
Yeah.
Okay. And I did not make fresh chicken soup today. So I have Rachel Ray chicken broth.
Wow.
Okay.
Sorry, vegetable stock. My bad, vegetable stock.
That's
That's
good.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's
I have
good.
chicken if you want.
And
No,
I
no,
want to
that's fine.
remind the participants that we don't have to use Rachel Ray.
Oh, yes, that's true. Sorry. That was just the first one I saw on the shelf. Which is funny because she annoys me. So anyway, and I put just enough to cover the vegetables, right?
Yes.
Why don't you put this?
And
You have to be careful the bottom. This.
okay, mommy, you tell me. This
I
is
think
fun.
this dish will be very
Wow.
good for the whole
Ching,
family
your
to eat
soup looks
together.
so good. Wow, yummy.
Oh, Ting as
It looks very organized.
green on top of
I'm
the
already
pot.
trying it out. It's actually really good. I love it. I'm eating it right now.
Oh, I
Happy
want to eat
Chinese
it
New Year.
too.
That sounds like New Year is coming.
Oh my God, I want to eat so badly. So if they don't have the Chinese ham, should they put sauce? When should they put sauce? Probably towards the end, right, Mark? Because right now we use the ham and mushroom to enhance the taste. Let's say if they have all vegetarian, tofu and stuff, then we might need some sauce. When is the best time to put it?
Yeah, if they don't have any salty stuff, then I usually put the salt in the last minute just before the soup gets done. So I just taste it and I add a little bit salt. A little salt at the beginning, maybe if needed, add a little bit more. I don't think that we need to put salt. Let's just have it. I usually don't put salt at the beginning because
and
the
I
water
just-
maybe evaporate. Yeah.
Forgot, I have these. What do I do with these? Dried scallops.
Ah, sorry, it's too late to put into that. But Majo, usually, sorry, one thing I forgot to mention is dry scallop, I usually put those dry scallop in the rice wine or the normal wine. So they soak that for like half day. So that make that rehydrated and then put them in.
That was not my
If you
recipe.
put that in, you need to cook that soup for pretty long, for like 1 hour, in order for them to cook.
All right, well, Mommy, you get to cook with rice scallops at some point. Joyce,
So,
I don't know.
Ting, we have a question for you. When you freeze the dumpling, what do you put in between the layers?
Oh, just the saran wrap.
Any wrap would do the work?
Yeah, any wrap. So you will not
Okay.
stick.
Okay, thank you. So what are you doing? You have wine too?
I am drinking my sake.
Wow.
So
Oh.
just want to make sure. So the soup, we will just cook it for like 15 minutes, boil after the 15 minutes, right? Because someone asked. And how long could it stay boiled? And if
You
it
know,
is too long,
when I
should
was a
we?
kid, right? We boiled that for like 30 minutes, 45 minutes is okay, as long as a very small flame, small heat.
Okay,
Just to
good.
keep it warm, make a little bit boiling them. Because you know, I remember when I was a kid, right? I mentioned that when the earth pot, or like a normal hot pot, bring to the table, and we're still eating the dumplings, we're eating the ham inside, a vegetable inside. We're still maybe the grown-ups still drinking the rice wines for another like 30, 40 minutes before they really take into the rice, then finish the dinner. So cooking that for like 30 to 45 minutes should be fine, but with a very
Great.
small heat after boiling.
I'm sorry, I actually wasn't listening to that last part. How long is this supposed to cook before I can eat it?
You should cook at least 15 minutes after boiling, or you can keep in a very small heat for another 30 minutes or 45 minutes. That's fine.
Okay.
Don't
And
overcook them like 1 hour.
the last 5 minutes I put in the rice noodles.
The last 10 minutes before you're eating, the last 10 minutes you put rice noodle into that.
Yeah, so it looks like we have some very good dumpling over there. And I'm not sure how many participants actually are following us doing it now, but please try it at home later. And again, send us the picture to programs@stuy-pa.org so that share with us the picture. We are looking forward to see how you got inspired to make the dishes. And so we are going to have more of this program coming up, right? So this time we are doing Chinese. I believe the next time we are trying Korean. We are going to have Korean edition. It will be in March.
Wow.
I don't know its exact date yet, but as soon as we know, we'll let you know, and we'll definitely announce it in the PAE news. And meanwhile, while we're waiting for the Korean cooking show, I want to emphasize the Spring Feast. We are going to have that. That's one of the big show for the side. This year is very tough because we have the COVID, so we are not going to sit down together to have a big banquet. So we are going to do it virtually. So please go to, if you go to the chat now, you will see a link coming up very soon. Join us, get some tickets to the Spring Feast. So we first will have, in the morning, we are going to have yoga and some samba. It will be really, really fun, okay? You are dancing, doing exercise with a whole bunch of people. And then we would have some program and wine, we will eat and wine together virtually. And in between, from 1 to 2, we are going to have Baked with Stuy. So this is a special Spring Feast edition. Please join us. And Majo, how's your soup going?
It looks like it's going really good. It's about to start boiling, and I'm going to lower it.
Okay, great. So on the screen, everybody can see the program we are going to have for April 17th, which actually not far away. Please get the ticket soon before it run out. You see that you could, on the same link, you could also see some side merchandise. We have some masks, very fancy masks. Do you hear that right now recommend that we wear 2 masks. One is the surgical mask underneath, and one is the fashion mask. Style mask will be a perfect choice. And you can see at the bottom there are several types of package. I please get some package, not just the one ticket. There's some passport and bundle that could save you some money and get you more fun. So, is there any question? I know that I haven't let you guys talk. I mean the participants talk. I should let a few minutes to let people join us. Anyone want to join us verbally? Please raise the hand, and I think our host Connie, lovely Connie, will try to coordinate us and to put you through. I see some comments, but everybody is shy. They don't feel like talking. But I know a lot of them really like this demonstration. Thank you so much, Ting and Majo. It's so good that we have different versions, Ting and Mark, and we have a student version, which once you try that, we feel like we can do it, definitely. Just need some help, right? Just need some practice to make it possible.
We have actually somebody, Virginia, I believe, has a question or would like to speak.
Please. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Hi. Can you, I don't know.
Yes, we can hear you.
I was just going to ask either Ms. Majo's mother or Yang Qilo to hear what they thought of Chinese New Year celebrations in their memory, or of other family celebrations. And I just wanted to get their voice.
Oh, that's a great question. So, Mrs. Majo?
Food's such a big part of Italian celebrations and Italian holidays. And so there's a cookie or a pasta plate or a meat dish that's specific for every one of our holidays. What's your favorite one to cook, Mom? Which holiday? We like it when she cooks for all of them.
Christmas.
Yeah, would you say Christmas is more like the Chinese New Year in terms of the
even New Year's over here? It's we have to make lentil soup for New Year's. It was supposed to be good luck. So you have to eat lentils on New Year's because
she eats lentils. I don't eat lentils.
But that's how they make it. Like at 12 o'clock, you have to make sausage and breads, and you have to eat a lot of peanuts.
That's why we all have really good blood pressure.
So peanuts and any kind of legumes and everything, like chickpeas and stuff like that you have to eat. And then we make all different kind of breads and things with spinach inside, with broccoli, with vegetables.
There's nothing better than some meat bread, let me just tell you.
And my sister makes delicious bread with pepperoni and things like that, and pizza, of course.
And then for Christmas, we get the manicotti, which is just like. Say it again, Mommy.
When do you actually start celebrating Lunar New Year?
But we go to Chinatown for New Year's. We go to Chinatown.
I'm sorry. Okay. Yes.
Okay,
hi.
你讲讲这个过年有一些什么？中国过年你有什么记忆？关于中国过年
我们在我们的过去那个年轻的时候过年呢，那是一个很隆重的一个节日。整个那个中国有很多节日，春节就是过年是一个最隆重的一个节日。那么现在呢，随着那个开放了以后呢， 那个节的气氛的氛围呢，逐步淡化，没有过去那么隆重了。有很多人呢，他更多的是过那个元旦呐、圣诞呐，所以那个情况过去有所变化。
Okay, I will do a little bit translation. My father said, my father said in his old day, in the old days, the Chinese New Year is a great festival. So the family get together, is everyone exciting, is waiting and counting every days to the New Year come. But now, actually, the Chinese New Year in China become even less important. A lot of young people are now really enjoy the Christmas or everything. So the making the egg dumplings is like one kind of a way, try to remember the old days when the big families get together.
Yes, I think once China or the world actually become westernized, people celebrate Christmas and regular New Year because they have holiday over there as well. And I know that for Chinese New Year, or they call it Spring Festival, we have a big migration. Everybody Chinese is trying to go back to their home and to eat with their parents. That's very close to the Thanksgiving and Christmas in America, right?
Yes.
So does that answer your question? Do we have anyone who want to join us?
Doesn't seem like we have any more questions.
Okay, we have a lot of thank you. And I want to thank you. Thank you for joining us. We really enjoy, right? It's good to have someone looking you cooking. That
Actually,
gives you a lot of
Fanny.
satisfaction.
Thank you, Fanny, and actually it'd be so exciting to be with all the guys from a Stuyvesant family gathering. That's a great one of my greatest experience for celebrate the Chinese New Year, which is coming in 5 days. Wow, exciting!
Yes, and what's special about this is not only that this is the first show, we have it kind of global because again, Mark is joining us from Shanghai, so this is making the technology make it very.
Don't forget, I'm in Staten Island.
Yes, yes. Next time we have someone from West Coast.
You know what I'm saying? I'm in the forgotten borough.
No, not really.
Final. Can we see Ms. Maggio's final result?
Yes.
Still cooking, but
I think it should be done by now.
Ooh, cool.
pretty good.
I think it should be done.
Well, it's only been, no, it only started boiling a couple of minutes ago because I had it on low.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So we'll see.
Actually, at the beginning, you could make it high a little bit, but boil it up. Once it boils, then you turn it kind of low for 15 minutes.
Then I'll add my noodles as soon as we guys log off. It has been so much fun.
Thank you.
Thank
you all.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And
yes.
Happy New Year to everybody.
Looking forward to the next show.
Happy
and
New Year.
Guys, don't forget to get the ticket to our Spring Fest. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.